All right. Well, I guess everybody knows about the impending economic collapse of 2009. Um, I guess people already know that it's gonna get a lot worse. Um, you don't need any advice on that. Um, Shortly after Inauguration Day, um, in the next few weeks, there's going to be some announcements, and there's going to be some very critical economic um, announcements that are um, due to an economic um, downturn. But I would like to get away from that for a second here and get away from commodities investing like gold and palladium, and um, get away from the core commodities investing like food and oil and those kind of things, and even the foreign exchange markets. I like to get away from all of that and encourage people to buy things that are of real wealth, real value. What do I mean by real wealth and real value? Are things that you own, like a house, a car, a boat, um, and get away from owning too much of anything such as stocks, cash. Um, Commodities are actually things like gold and silver and platinum, rhodium. These are physical items that you can hold, that can hold value. So I mean, if you have a chance to buy silver or palladium, I very much encourage silver and palladium. At the U.S. dollar rate, they're a very good deal at this time. Um, Gold also holds its value very much. But like my last video, I mentioned that gold has peaked, and I don't see more than a 10 to 20% upswing on that. Food commodities are definitely going up. But besides all of this, I wanted to emphasize one type of wealth, something that you own that I'm actually very excited about, and that is either a motorboat or a sailboat. Um, this is probably one of the most important passions of mine. It's one of the most important. Um, it's one of the most important things that I do, and one of the things that I enjoy the most. As a matter of fact, I really integrate this into my spiritual life. There's just something about the water, the salt water, the wind, being pretty much alone, or with loved ones on a nice big sailboat, and the clouds in the sky, and there's something about that that's quite nice actually. It is somewhat of a challenge, but I've always enjoyed that challenge. Um, I enjoy sailing in Seattle area, Lake Union, Lake Washington, Puget Sound, and I think the Vancouver, English Bay, Bowen Island is one of the most beautiful sailing destinations in the world. Um, I've always enjoyed going to Bowen Island. They have a new place that you have to climb up to the mountain there. It's called Artisans Village. They have a nice little chocolate shop up there, and they have a nice restaurant overlooking the bay there. We've got a real nice dock there that you could dock your sailboat, and you pay a little parking moorage fee there. Also, the ferry goes there, but nothing can compare to sailing over there. There's nothing that's more adventurous and beautiful. Um, I've sailed in Hawaii and Mexico. I've sailed in California. I've sailed in Washington, and I've sailed in quite a few places. And I've owned a few boats before. They were 25-foot keel boats. And I always really enjoyed it. I always really enjoyed it. In the wintertime here in Vancouver, it's very difficult to do some sailing. You have to be pretty diehard. I used to actually sail in the wintertime. In the summertime, though, it picks up quite a bit. And so that's my advice. That's my new advice for everyone, is to buy a sailboat and to just sail away from all of this, because your money is not going to be worth squat in the next 6 months. In the next 6 months, there's going to be a lot of economic news, and there's going to be a very big economic collapse and downturn where everything is going to end up worthless. So my advice to you, or mostly the people out there listening to this, is to make sure that they have their money invested in either core commodities or precious metals or real wealth. Real wealth. And what I mean by real wealth is what you own, what you physically own, such as automobiles, houses, and sailboats. But out of all the things that I have ever owned, owning the sailboats have been a great challenge, but they've always been very pleasurable, and they've always been very exciting. I would say the problem with owning a sailboat is sometimes you end up not using it. So, especially here in Vancouver, you end up not using it in probably the months of November through March. And the summer months, so the 6 months, you end up using it quite often. But a lot of people just use their boats maybe once a month, and they pour a lot of moorage fees into that and maintenance fees. Make sure you get a really good outboard or inboard. Probably a brand new inboard. Inboard is a really good idea. Really easy to operate. And I would probably just say stock it with your favorite foods, to last you the next 6 months. And just sail to a nice destination. I really emphasize Bowen Island is a very nice place to sail to. Vancouver Island, I've sailed around Vancouver Island, and that's very beautiful. Salt Spring Island, and on the west coast there, Broken Islands, and the northern areas, and Falls Creek is really nice too. Vancouver's a beautiful place to sail. So it's a beautiful destination, really. So I would definitely say buy a sailboat for all you middle class people out there, because your money is probably not going to be worth squat in the next 6 months. I would probably put it into a nice sailboat with nice food and everything, and get away from all the trouble. That would be my best advice.